Hey guys, a new season just started, so you already know what time it is. It's time for a new video for the top 15 heroes to solo rank out in season 23. There are some heroes that get banned in almost every single match, such as Amon, Paquito, Nathan, and so on, so I will include those. If you need a tutorial or build for any of the heroes, I will put the link for them in the description below. So without further ado, let's start with the list. Karina is an incredible assassin that excels at getting multiple kills in a row during the team fight. Even though she's an assassin, she can still melt down the tanks as well, all thanks to her passive. She can easily kill those heroes who rely solely on their basic attack because her first kill makes her immune to them. But beware of the enemy CC skills because she can still be easily burst down. That's why she requires impeccable timing on when to engage and when to retreat and wait for a good opening to re-engage. Vayne's first skill and ult deal a disgusting amount of damage, and both have very low cooldown, especially first skill. You can just stay in the back, keep poking the enemies by using their minions to ricochet his first skill and it will hit those behind. And when they are low enough, you and your team can just engage in the fight. Also, those who are required to get in close range to deal damage will have a hard time dealing against him because his ult can just melt them down. Vayne requires a bit of patience because unlike many fighters, he's not built to go head on the fight. You gotta keep lowering their HP until the time is right to go all in. Clint is one of the stronger marksmen for the side lane. His first skill can easily burst down any hero that will be matched up against him during the laning phase. And as the game progresses, his passive will start taking over and those crit damage will start hurting a lot. But his first skill will still remain one of his strongest weapons, so he's just a nightmare to deal with. But like many marksmen, they are extremely squishy, so be very vigilant of those one-shotter mages and assassins who only want to go for your nuts first. Hayabusa is one of the deadliest and most annoying assassins to deal with. He can easily kill the target even when he's under his turret, and then he just blink away like nothing happened. Also, in one of the recent updates, they made his first kill animation a lot faster, so now he's a truly nightmare for those squishy DPS heroes. But what makes him so great is that he's not the easiest hero to kill, thanks to his shadow skill, so if your team is somewhat falling behind, you can just try to split push instead and gain as much farm as possible, so the next time there's a team fight, you will be as strong as their most farm hero. Kagura is probably the most consistent mage of all time. She's always a good pick no matter the meta. Her ability to instantly burst down the enemies, while still having a lot of tools to escape from danger, and to top it off, he has a free purify and a dash skill. She seems to be more of an assassin than a mage. Also, she can clear the minion wave easily from a safe distance. You need a little bit of practice with her before getting used to all her 6 skills, but once you apply her a few times, you will see that it's actually quite simple her skills mechanics. After turning Yi Sun-shin into an assassin role and not just a marksman anymore, now he's an absolute monster of a jungler. Just by making this small change, now he gets the full benefit from War Axe. Thanks to this mechanic, he has tons of physical penetration, damage and mobility. His skillset and passive allow him to farm pretty fast. His ult can be used to give vision on the enemies at very crucial moments of the game. And he can also immune CC skills if you time his dash at the right time. Roger also gets the full staff from War Axe, just like Yi Sun-shin. His damage output from his first skill is more of an assassin than a marksman. Also, he's probably one of the fastest heroes in the game, both in mobility and attack speed. And not only that, but he can also sustain a lot when he is in his wolf form, something that you wouldn't expect from a marksman role. This marksman has almost no weaknesses, he has the full package. 6 package to be precise. Lancelot got an incredible revamp in the latest update. Now his first skill is a lot easier to reset and even deadlier than before. His damage output is incredible and his mobility is superb, making him one of the best assassins and ignoring the enemy's front line and just going straight to the enemy squishy lineup. It's a nightmare to play mobile mage or marksman against this hero. Just try not to go too Rambo with him and be the focus of attention, because he's still quite squishy himself, but his second skill is a great tool at immuning lethal CC and burst skills. Barat is one of my go-to heroes when I see that nobody really wants to tank, or I feel like the tank is quite inexperienced. He can sustain a lot, deal tons of damage, split push, and carry. He can also be played as the jungler. A lot of times, the opponent will ignore Barat because he's so tanky, but then they will underestimate his damage and will end up taking a lot more damage than they expected. Just make sure to keep his stacks up and good timing with his ult, because it's very easy to escape if you are not paying attention to the enemy's movement or don't know how certain interaction works, like how Lolita's shield can actually block his ult. Vale is one of the strongest one-shotter mages in the game. Not only can he one-shot, but he can disrupt the entire fight with his long-range tornado. His passive gives him tons of movement speed, which is extremely helpful to kite the enemy's assassins and fighters. The best way to play one-shotters like him is to take maximum advantage of the bushes and keep surprising the enemies. Don't reveal yourself on the map too often, play him like a camper. Ling is a bit tricky for solo players, because if the enemy's tank or support, play him extremely aggressively right from the start and try to steer your buff or delay it, and your teammates are quite inexperienced at defending the jungle, then it becomes really hard to farm. Ling is one of those heroes that are extremely blue dependent. But if they didn't try to invade your buff or your teammates are experienced enough to defend it, then he's an incredible hero at pushing pressure in all lanes. Also, he becomes an absolute nightmare for the enemy mage or any squishy heroes. If your team is falling behind, you can opt to split push instead. He's probably the best hero for that job, because he's one of the hardest heroes to kill if they don't manage to catch him by surprise. Esmeralda has a lot of amazing assets. Thanks to her thickness, she can sustain quite a lot and at the same time deals tons of damage. She can easily disrupt the entire fight by jumping on the backline first with her ultimate. She can be played either in the side lane or even as the jungler. I had a lot of success playing her as the jungler. She can carry pretty well if you play smartly and know when to retreat and when to keep pushing forward. Yuzong is one of the strongest fighters in the laning phase. His passive allows him to completely dominate his lane. And even denies the enemy farm if you freeze the lane. Also, he's a nightmare to mage and DPS heroes, and even the jungler, because once he's on top of the target, it's quite hard to escape from his grasp, especially if he's using Petrify. Once you are already on top of the target, don't hesitate and just go for the kill. If you stay too long in the dragon form, they can lower your HP by a lot, and then it won't be ideal to engage anymore. Beatrix is an insanely OP broken marksman in the current state of the game. She can just kill everything that she set her sight to. Doesn't matter if it's tank, mage, support or jungler. he can easily melt down a full HP hero with just a few shots. So now, not only do the enemies have to focus on the jungler, but also on Beatrix as well. In fact, she actually might deal even more damage than the jungler. If you want, you can play her in the middle lane instead of the gold lane. Either way, she excels in any lane. Last but not least, let's include a support in this list, because they're often forgotten in this kind of video. But don't get me wrong, even though Este is a support, he's an incredible hero for solo ranking up. He's one of my heroes with the highest win rate in solo rank, because of the fact that he can easily turn the tide of the fight and help your team push all the way without having to go back to base to heal. He is also one of the most banned heroes in the pro scenes, and there's a good reason for that. And that's it for this season 23 list. There are many more great heroes that can still do very well in this meta, such as Cho, Harith, and so on that I didn't include in this list. But in the end, what really matters is how well you play the hero.